I had like the worst day ever last week. At least like in this year. It was terrible. Okay, first of all, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, which no, that's not that early, but I went to sleep late and I don't need to be awake until 8 o'clock. And normally I wake up at like 7:30. So I'm already awake half an hour early, even though I went to sleep late. And I'm just like, this is like the fifth day in a row that I had like not gotten a full night to sleep. And so I was just like really tired and very just frustrated that I couldn't get a full night of sleep. Which, I think it has something to do with like daylight savings. I hate daylight savings. But anyway, after that, okay, I'm getting ready for school. It was Veterans Day. So last Tuesday, I was getting ready for school, and we had a Veterans Day assembly at school, so school ran later. And because it's Veterans Day, my work opened earlier. And I have to go to work. I have to go to work at 4:30, and school ends at 3:30. And so that gives me an hour, okay? And normally I start getting ready for work an hour before, and then I leave 30 minutes early, so I have 30 minutes to drive. So if school gets out an hour before I have to get ready for work, and I still have to drive to my house, that gives me maybe like 20 minutes to get ready, if that. And I have quite literally no time to do homework. And this is while I'm actively behind on homework. Okay. So while I'm getting ready for school and I'm thinking about all this, I'm like a little bit stressed out. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna not be able to do homework. I'm gonna get a bad grade in that class, and I'm gonna go to work really stressed out. Last time I went to work really stressed out, I had to go home early because my stomach started hurting. Okay, whatever, okay. The day goes about as it does. School wasn't that bad. I was, annoyed that we had to go to the assembly. I love our veterans, but I was not in the mood. Okay. Anyway, so after that, I go home, get ready for work, and, from the morning, I'm really tired. I haven't gotten a full night of sleep in a week, basically. So I'm thinking, I can get ready really fast, because I'm basically already ready from school. I just need to change clothes. So if I, leave a little bit earlier, I can stop by the dollar store and buy myself a energy drink. Okay, good. I have something to look forward to. Okay, I leave my house and I'm driving, and I stop by the dollar store, and I go in and I grab a Monster and I go to the checkout. I try using my card. The cash register lady, the cashier, she says, "Oh, it says something about you've used your PIN. The PIN you're using expired." And I think, that's weird. I did call the bank last week because my card wasn't activated for some reason, or got disactivated or something. And they told me I needed to set a new PIN. And then they gave me another number to call, and then I called that number, and then the lady was like, "Give me your information," and then never ended up setting my PIN. And after that call, I was kind of like, oh well. Turns out that was actually important, because the PIN doesn't go to my card anymore. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. The cashier says, "Do you want to try using credit?" And I say, "Yeah, okay." I try using credit, which is just like when you don't put in your PIN, with your debit card? And I'm like, okay, yeah. I tried doing that, and the cashier says, it's telling me that there's fraudulent activity on your card. Oh, that's funny. What? And then I look down at my wallet, and I have a singular dollar bill in there. $1 bill. A monster is more than $1 bill. So I have to be like, okay, I'll put it back. And by that time, oh my God, I'm on the verge of tears because I'm just having a bad day in general. I'm like, I'm stressed out. I just wasted a bunch of time trying to buy a monster from the dollar store. And then it didn't end up working, and now I just have to go back, and I'm probably going to be late to work, and I'm really stressed out, okay? And I'm leaving I quickly leave the dollar store, just on the verge of tears, and as soon as I get into my car, back onto the highway, I scream because, oh my God, I start bawling my fucking eyes out because I'm just so, overwhelmed and frustrated, and it's just a terrible, terrible day. And I yelling to myself, I'm gonna fucking crash my car, and then I won't have to go to work, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. And I'm lying, obviously, but oh my gosh, it was, I was this close. Anyway, I pull into the parking lot at my work, and I'm still, I'm trying to, compose myself. I'm not crying anymore, but I'm on the verge, okay? But I look at the clock, and I've got 2 minutes until my shift starts. Normally, I go in, I get there, 10 minutes before my shift starts, sit in my car for 5 minutes, and then go in. I've got 2 minutes before my shift starts, so I've got no time for that. I go in, I find a manager, and I clock in, and then I go up to my little station, and I'm talking to some of my coworkers, and they're looking at me, and they're like, you look like you do not want to be here. And I'm like, dude, I almost fucking crashed my car because I didn't want to be here. And then my manager comes over, and she looks at me, and she's like, are you okay? That puts me over the edge. Oh my God. No. I'm having a terrible, terrible day. And that breaks me. I run to the bathroom. Just, there's tears in my eyes actively as I don't run, I speed walk. But I go to the bathroom, and I sit in there, and I just fucking cry. And I sit in there for 4 minutes crying, and I'm trying to stop, but I cannot. And every time I try and compose myself, it does not work. Eventually, I come out of the bathroom, I look at myself in the mirror, my eyes are so fucking red and puffy, and I'm like, oh my God. I don't want people to think I've been fucking smoking in the bathroom. No one would care, but I don't want people to think that. Anyway, so I'm just like, okay, I've been in there for 6 minutes. I can't just stay in there. So I go out from the bathroom, and I grab myself a drink of water, from the kitchen, which unfortunately the kitchen is very well lit, and people can 100% see that I am not looking the best. I get a couple of questions how are you doing okay, or how are you doing, and I say, no, I'm not doing okay, and that's it. And then I go back to my station, and then I just tell my coworkers, I just fucking cried in the bathroom, I'm done. And I start making jokes, kind of push myself through, and eventually I get over the crying phase. But it's another thing, I didn't even mention this, but part of the reason why I was just so upset that I had to go to work was because I had to close that night, but I also had to go in an hour earlier, and it's a school night, so I'm not gonna get home till 10:30, and I need to take a shower that night. I don't have any time to do homework at all, because immediately from school I have to go to work, and then I have to close, and then I can't work on homework because I need to go to sleep early. Because I didn't get very much sleep last night. Whatever. By the end of the day, I'm feeling a little bit better. Like, I'm tired, but whatever. I go home, and then I take NyQuil because it has shit that, like, knocks you out. And I knock out, like, I pass out, basically. I wake up in the morning, and I'm so fucking drowsy because I didn't get enough, like, the NyQuil wanted me to sleep longer, which I wanted to sleep longer, but I couldn't. But anyway, that was just like terrible day. But doing better now. I called my bank and hopefully, haven't tested it out, but hopefully my card's working now. But yeah. I'm gonna do homework now.